It's time for Q&A 10K, celebrating 10,000 subscribers. Thank you so much to all of you, my awesome viewers, subscribers, fans, viewers. I think I mentioned viewers. My mods, as well as the Super Chat heroes and our junior members, elite members, doing your part to help get the channel over the 10K mark. Very much appreciated. And as promised, I am going to answer your questions over anything. Gaming, YouTube, history, personal, etc. So I gave you guys a few days to submit your questions via Twitter, Facebook page, the YouTube community tab, and Discord. And thank you to everybody that has submitted a question. And for everybody on Facebook, why do you always have to let me down? But at least we got a couple submissions from Twitter. So we'll start with Twitter. To celebrate 10,000 subscribers, it's time for another Q&A. Your questions, one per person, please, regarding almost anything gaming, YouTube, life, personal, history, hobbies, interests, etc. Can't even read what I typed. So let's get to it. First off, Retro. One of my good friends, Retro, he streams a lot on Twitch. He does a lot of Dead by Daylight. And on occasion, you may find myself playing some Dead by Daylight with Retro. I always try to promote his channel whenever I'm, tagging along with him for a little fog jog in Dead by Daylight. What other hobbies do you like besides gaming? That is a good question, because I used to be all about what hobbies would I like? I liked coin collecting. I enjoyed bowling back in the day when I used to bowl a lot more than I do now. I exercise at least 3 days a week. I do cardio, not just lifting weights, but also like walk a mile every day or every other day whenever I'm not working out in the gym. And I try to eat healthier because I'm trying to lose weight. And I guess you could consider making content to be a hobby. So yeah, I consider that to be a hobby as well. I enjoy not only live streaming, but I enjoy putting together the content that I make, whether it's guides or thoughts videos or feedback, as well as all my videos. Like my guide video the other day, I enjoyed putting that together. So I got a few hobbies here or there. I don't focus as much on hobbies as I used to, because like the coin collecting hobby, it's pretty much set, and I could have continued it, but I'm happy with the collection I have. And if the day ever comes where I need to, sell a few items, I think it's a nice little nest egg I've tucked away over the past few years. So those are a few of my hobbies. Next question on Twitter comes from Kamal. I know it's you, Kamal. Let's see. What are your thoughts? I don't have any thoughts, okay? I don't have those kind of thoughts running around the place. No, sorry, I don't. But anyways, on all this feminist propaganda in Hollywood, bashing white males and all those annoying crap. Now, look, I am all about equality for everybody, and I feel like my country has come a long ways in that capacity when it comes to equality for rights. But I do feel like sometimes there are not all feminists, but there are definitely some. I guess you could call them feminazis, kind of like the more extreme wing of feminism that goes a little too far with it. I think that there is obvious hatred by some against white males. And I do consider it to be a form of hate, a form of racism. It is racism. And I don't really fully understand it. I mean, are there racists out there that are white? Yeah, of course there are. There are racists everywhere. I mean, unfortunately, hate is something that humanity has a long, sad history with, going all the way back throughout history and ancient civilizations. This group hated that group for reasons. I don't like racism. I don't like hatred on any angle, any point of view, any side. I think that we need to get past the hatred. We need to learn from history, but we have to learn not to repeat history. And I feel like as long as you have people out there hating this group or that group, especially over things that happened in the past, and you demonize this entire group for something that, you know, no one alive today had control over, then all you're doing is you're allowing that cycle to continue. Do we need to learn from history? Of course we need to learn from history. But at the same time, we have to break the cycle of hate. And when it comes to equality, like I mentioned, I believe in equality. Women's rights, men's rights, rights for everybody under the sun, whether it doesn't matter what your pigment is, it doesn't matter what your beliefs happen to be, as long as you're not, you know, threatening somebody else in the process. I'm totally fine with whatever you happen to believe, you know, philosophically, religious, spiritually. And unfortunately, you know, while we have a lot of these groups in America, these more extreme groups, it is sad that there are parts of the world that aren't mentioned by feminists, or very rarely, well, the extreme wing, because there's different groups, different factions within groups, that they pay no lip service to, like the oppression that women have in a lot of other countries. And there's plenty of countries out there where women are not treated equals, where people's orientation, you know, a lot of people end up in jail or executed in various countries throughout the world because of their gender orientation beliefs. So despite my country's flaws, and we have plenty, and things are far from perfect, but I think things are better than they were. But there's always room for improvement. I just believe that the only way forward is all of us together. And I'm tired of the demonization. I'm tired of this group hating that group for reasons. And at the same time, I do recognize that hate, sadly, still does exist. And the only person I have control over is me, Kamal, when it comes to hate. I choose not to hate. Now, if I hate somebody, it's for an individual reason that I despise them. Not because of their beliefs, not because of the pigment of their skin, or their gender, or their sexuality. That doesn't go into the equation when it comes to me. If they're an a-hole to me, then I'll react appropriately. But if they're nice to me, I don't care. You know, live and let live. That's my philosophy on this particular subject. Okay, so now we got Twitter out of the way. Thanks, Kamal. Starting off with some deep questions. And look, I don't claim to have the answers to everything, but I do my best. So, like I said, I promised you guys, you can ask me whatever you want, and I will do my best to answer it from my point of view. So, whether you agree with me or not, you know, in the end, it's my opinion. I say, Geralt, see, I pronounced it correctly this time because I didn't want the Witcher coming after me. Are you thinking of being more diverse with your content? For example, covering more Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2, or covering more than? Thanks for your question, Geralt. I hope your new TV series turns out good. I hope so, at least. Now, I have played many other games on the channel. Now, obviously, Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead make up the trinity of the channel. You know, those two IPs plus the Mafia franchise. But at the same time, I am a gamer at heart. I play other games. I know that's hard to believe, but I do. And I've played other games and streamed other games on the channel, believe it or not. I have streamed some Skyrim. I've even streamed some Witcher. I got my ass handed to me in Witcher, but I did put up a few episodes years ago when it came out. Watch Dogs, as well as Far Cry 5, Far Cry New Dawn, some Fallout 4, GeauxBurns, for example, and there's obviously other games that I'm not mentioning. You can go look at my playlists. I have tons of playlists, but the problem is the YouTube algorithms. It punishes channels like mine when we deviate. So I am encouraged by the algorithms, by YouTube basically, to focus the content on Red Dead Online and Red Dead Redemption 2, as well as Grand Theft Auto Online. And to deviate from that punishes me in the algorithms. It's all technical. I don't completely understand it, but I've done some research on it, and that seems to be the case, sadly. Now, does that mean that it's going to stop me from playing other games on the channel? No, absolutely not. In fact, I am contemplating streaming Jedi Fallen Order because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Oh, yeah, I also played and streamed both South Park games, speaking of South Park. But I'm either going to stream it on YouTube, on the YouTube channel, or else I'm going to stream Jedi Fallen Order over on my Twitch channel. Yes, I have a Twitch channel, but I'm still a gamer at heart, and I will still occasionally play other games, but obviously predominantly a lot of you subscribe to the channel because of either A, Red Dead, B, GTA, C, Mafia, or D, 1, or all of the above. So obviously I've got to cater to my viewers and my subscribers. Let's see, Yugi Outlaw, one of our elite members. My question is, did you ever think you would reach 10,000 or didn't even think about it? Well, I'd be lying if I said I didn't think about it, Yugi. But at the same time, I've always tried to humble myself and remind myself that no matter how far I got, that I always started off with 0 when I launched the channel just over 5 years ago. And no matter what, I've come a long ways since that day when I had 0 subscribers, 0 views, 0 likes. And I am proud of the journey that we've been on the past 5 years. And the main reason why I believe that the channel isn't bigger is because, like Garrel was inquiring, I have deviated. I have tried to put other content on the channel on numerous occasions other than what people subscribe to. And obviously, I'm not going to force people to watch something on the channel that they didn't subscribe for. If they subscribe to the channel just for my GTA content, then I'm grateful for their views and likes for my GTA content. I'm not going to force them to watch my Red Dead content or Mafia content, etc. So I completely understand that. I'm not going to force anybody to watch anything. I'm grateful for whenever you guys do take time out of your lives to watch the content and the streams that you want to watch. So maybe if I was a little bit more focused, Yugi, maybe the channel would be bigger, but that's fine. I'm grateful for how far we've come, and I accept the fact that everything happens as it's meant to. And this is the journey I'm meant to be on, and I'm going to continue going forward to wherever direction I'm meant to go. If I'm meant to end up with 100,000 subscribers one day or a bazillion, then I will always remind myself where I began, and I will try to keep myself humble, and hopefully you all, my awesome viewers, subscribers, fans, will keep me humble as well. Fashion! What's up, Fashion? Let's see. What do you do outside of streaming? Work, hobbies, etc. I think I pretty much answered that question. Now, obviously, some of these questions may be the same questions someone else has answered, but, you know, I do have a few hobbies like working out, trying to eat better, and for the most part, I do like focus a lot on, you know, gaming off stream, and whenever I'm not, you know, making content, I do a lot of gaming on my own. And I don't bowl like I used to. Like I mentioned, I do a lot of, I'm in the gym at least 3 days a week and, you know, doing cardio, walking. I try at least knock out, like I mentioned, at least a mile a day if I can, when I'm able to. I probably could use a few more hobbies in my life, but, you know, it is what it is. I mean, it's good not to be overburdened. So I feel quite comfortable with, I guess, the amount of hobbies I currently have. It'd be nice if something new or different came along because it can get a little boring every now and then, but, you know, it is what it is. Let's see, Bagman, a.k.a. Gooey. You'll always be Gooey to me. Let's see, your question, was there any turning point and every stages of your channel that maybe your content or age group focused on channel depending on people who watched your videos? I never really had a demographic, Gooey. My main focus was to appeal to people that like that specific game that I was playing or covering. Like, obviously, as a long-time fan of Grand Theft Auto since the very beginning, when I was making content mostly for Grand Theft Auto in the early days of the channel, it was because I was really into Grand Theft Auto Online. And it was because I was into it, and I had ideas for the channel and ideas for the content I was making that made me want to continue making that specific content, which obviously my goal there was to interest viewers and subscribers that were also Grand Theft Auto fans. Now, obviously the channel has shifted to more like Red Dead Online, Red Dead Redemption 2 over the past year, because that's what I'm more into now. And it's the same thing. You know, my demographic is fellow gamers that are into Red Dead Online and Red Dead Redemption 2. Let's see, Riot. Let's see, are you going to continue Red Dead Online Poker with randoms? Riot. Right now, with the poker series, which has basically become like a monthly series, I am trying to get to where we're just playing with subscribers and viewers, members, because I really enjoy opportunities to play with you guys, whether it's during a live stream or whenever we're doing the Legendary Bounty series or the poker series. So I know the first few episodes of Red Dead Online Poker was with randos, and I had a better time against the randos. But I also like doing things to, I guess, reward my viewers and subscribers, especially the regulars and my members, of course. And I feel like having Red Dead Online Poker to where I play against you all, my viewers, subscribers, fans, members, is another way to reward you all for being subscribers, viewers, and members of the channel. So eventually, we may have some future random poker episodes down the road. We'll see. But as of right now, I would prefer focusing on just the way we're going, because we've already been there, done that with the randos, and I'd rather just have games against subscribers, viewers, members. I think I made the point. All right, Shaun of the Dead. Let's see, what got you into Red Dead Redemption? I've been a Red Dead Redemption fan since the very first Red Dead Redemption game when it launched. And before that, I was a huge Western fan, still am a Western fan. And obviously a Rockstar fan from all the Grand Theft Auto games, and of course Bully. And naturally, it enticed me and intrigued me. An open world Western game made by Rockstar. And I thoroughly enjoyed my time in Red Dead Redemption when it came out. I loved Undead Nightmare. Most recently, we went back and streamed through Undead Nightmare. And so, yeah, those are the things that got me into the Red Dead Redemption franchise over 9 years ago. Akeem! Hey, Akeem, how you been? Let's see, what are some of your goals for the future of the channel? Like, what do you want to be in the next 3 to 5 years? On a side note, it's awesome to see how far you've grown from watching your first video to now seeing you've added and improved the videos over the years. Also, when are you going to bring back a Civilization live stream? Now, at the end of the year, last year, we had some fun. We did a Civilization Revolution live stream on the Xbox One. We had a good time. We had like a People's Council and a High Council. And the High Council was everybody that was in the voice chat with me in Discord during the live stream. And the People's Council was everybody in the live chat on the live stream. And we would make decisions about like the country going forward, the nation, and things to research, and whether or not to go to war against another country, and what type of religion to have, or what type of government. But who knows? Maybe we'll do another Civilization by the end of the year, Akeem. Maybe. I do have Civilization 5 on the Switch, so maybe we'll do Civilization 5 as a live stream by the end of the year. Maybe New Year's Eve again. We'll see. Now, I am not one to plan too far ahead. I do like to plan ahead to some degree, Akeem, but at the same time, I try not to. I have no idea where the channel is going to be in 3 to 5 years. I'm guessing by then, maybe Grand Theft Auto 6. Maybe either an expansion of Grand Theft Auto Online, bringing more people back to Grand Theft Auto Online, or a Grand Theft Auto Online 2. So I guess I will shift back to Grand Theft Auto once we get a new Grand Theft Auto game. If we're still doing this in 3 to 5 years, I'm just living for the moment, enjoying this journey, taking it one step at a time, one day at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 month at a time. So when it comes to the future, who knows? But hopefully, if it's meant to be, I'll continue making content and live streaming for all of you. Let's see, Mike, 3-part question. Mike, this is 3 questions, Mike. I said 1 per person, but let me get through these real quick. I know, I'm sorry, guys. I'm kind of dragging here. I'm not blasting through the questions as quickly as I thought I was going to. 3-part question. For now on, 1 question, please. I have a lot of submissions. How do you decide on GeauxBurns as the name for the channel? Will you be willing to share what your real name is? How old are you? I'm going to answer one of those 3 questions. I get a choice. I'll pick one, Mike. I'll pick the GeauxBurns origin. Now, when it comes to my age, some people know my age. And when it comes to my real name, well, you're going to get half the answer. And once again, it's not a state secret. There are those that know my real name. But I choose to go by GeauxBurns. It's like Bruce Wayne. Once he becomes Batman, he's Batman. Even if he's still walking around wearing a suit and tie, being all Bruce Wayne-y and people call him Bruce, he still, in his mind, considers himself to be Batman. That's the way I am over 5 years ago when I decided to go by GeauxBurns. It just became my name. RGB, as some of you prefer to call me, or Burns. Now, Burns is my actual last name. So there's half the answer you're going to get. Now, because I am a child of two states, Texas and Louisiana, both sides of my family are from Louisiana, and I have been living in Louisiana ever since I graduated from high school back in ancient times, in the late 20th century. But in Louisiana, French history, so there's a lot of French history here in Louisiana. And when it comes to sports teams, let me show this to you real quick. Hold on. Just to give you guys an idea. All right, so Louisiana likes to do things differently. I can't even spell go correctly. Now, here we go. So, let me show you guys real quick. Images. All right, so as you can tell, this is like the popular college team in Louisiana, the LSU Tigers. And a lot of the signs are Go Tigers. Now, go is it's go as in G-O, but it's just spelled differently. Now, we also spell go in Louisiana as G-O, but, for signs for like the Tigers or, for example, the professional football team, the New Orleans Saints, it's the same thing. So that's where go comes from, GeauxBurns. It just sounded cool, and I ran with it. And that's my name, and the rest is history. And that's what I like going by. GeauxBurns, or once again, GB, or Burns. I've been called way worse. All right, let's move on to Kyle. Let's see. If the PlayStation 5 is fully backwards compatible with PS1 to PS4 games, would it be worth $500 to $600? I don't know if it's going to be backwards compatible with all those games, Kyle, to be honest. I think that we'll be lucky if it's backwards compatible with, say, PS4, maybe PS3 games, maybe PS2 games, because I know we can purchase PS2 games currently on PS4 through the PlayStation Store. I don't know. I mean, that's a question everyone's going to have to ask themselves. Is it worth getting the PS5 for that price tag? I don't know if it's going to be that high, but it could be. Like, they could have like a PS5 regular for like $400 and then like a PS5 Pro, and that might be in the $500, $600 range, but I guess we'll just have to see. At the very beginning, I would say no, because there's probably not going to be that many good games that come out launch day. But within a few months, or probably a year from the launch of the PS5 and the next Xbox console, there'll be some really, really awesome games, but probably not right away. But you never know. Fat Chinese Gaming, another one of our elite members, also fellow content creator and streamer. Many congratulations for 10,000 subscribers. My question is, would you like to visit the UK? My answer is yes. I would love to visit the UK and other places as well. First off, I need a passport. Eventually, I'll get a passport. Hopefully, I'm allowed to get a passport. Maybe. Second is I have to find somebody willing to house and pet sit for me while I'm gone. So that's always an issue that keeps me from going anywhere. I do go places every now and then. Like a few weeks ago, I went to go spend a couple days with my grandfather for his birthday. He lives in Mississippi. And earlier in the year, I was able to go spend a few days with my sisters in Central Texas. But I just don't have the opportunity to get away as much because, A, somebody has to take care of my cats and my dogs for me and house sit for me. And B, other real life stuff, other adulting things, including, I like the idea of continuing to have content for you all every day on the channel, as well as live streams. So there's a variety of things that keep me from making as many trips as I would like to make, but absolutely, I would love to eventually come see the UK. Not just London, but everywhere. Stonehenge, all the way up to Scotland. Maybe even I'll make it down to Wales to hang out with you, Fat. You never know. Let's see. Smeg, will we be getting cake if you go and buy some cake, Smeg? I'm trying to cut back on the cake and pies and candy. Sorry. Sorry, Smeg. But, hey, you can go get yourself some cake. Yeah. Isn't that like the famous last words of Marie Antoinette before she lost her head? I think so. Let them eat cake. Lynn, hey, Lynn. See, what games do you like to play outside Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead? Okay, so I love playing Dead by Daylight with Retro and Azerlin, Lark. Let's see, some of the others I play with, like Shotgun Mark, as well as Oliver King, a few others too that I love playing some Dead by Daylight with, but other games that I like to play. I used to be really into RTS games, strategy games. I do like the Civilization series. I love the Diablo franchise. I'm kind of excited for Diablo 4. I'm not happy about all the other issues that Blizzard's been part of recently. But I'm a huge Diablo fan. I've been a fan since the beginning. And that's where my loot addiction comes from. Because I used to loot like crazy in Diablos 1 and 2. And in some degree, Diablo 3. And I also have some Diablo 3 content on the channel as well. But, I'm trying to think of some other games I like to play. Man, I loved playing Zelda Breath of the Wild. Whenever it came out on Switch, that was the reason why I bought a Switch. So there's definitely other games I like to play. I just don't play as much as I used to. Let's see, Dr. Anarchy. Let's see, are you an atheist or a theist? You're an atheist and you respect other people's beliefs. I was born and raised Catholic. And half of my family is Catholic. Half of my family is like Protestant, Southern Baptist. Now, I used to be I wouldn't say I was ever really a devout Catholic, but I was a Catholic for a time. Even like maybe in somewhere in the mid 2000s, that's when I stopped really being a Catholic. I've never stopped believing in something. I believe that there is something more out there, that we're more than just flesh and bone, that I have to believe that there's life beyond death. Maybe that's the wrong way to phrase it. But I believe that there's more to life than this. Now, am I an atheist? No, I'm not an atheist. I guess the best way to describe me is I'm more of an agnostic. I don't know if there's a God or gods or a supreme being or aliens or whatever. I don't have those answers, and I don't claim to have those answers. And like you, I respect everybody's beliefs. And as long as you're not threatening somebody else's belief, that's fine by me. I also believe in reincarnation. I've had these flashes over the years of past lives that felt more like memories than dreams. So I do kind of believe in reincarnation as well. Whether or not reincarnation fits into all this remains to be seen, but I hope that answers that particular question. But like I mentioned, no, I'm not an atheist. But I respect atheists out there, and I respect people that believe in religions, whether you're Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Hindu, Buddhist. Doesn't matter to me. You're all welcome here. ESP, if you got a chance to be a character in Red Dead Redemption 2, who would you be and why? Who would I be and why? I don't know. Gavin? Hey, we never find Gavin. We don't know what became of Gavin. He could be out there living a sweet life somewhere. We don't know. So I guess maybe Gavin. Okay, so anyways, let's move on. The Beast Games. What's your favorite moment from your childhood? Wow, that's a deep cut question. Favorite moment from my childhood. I don't know, to be honest. That was a long time ago. Damn. I guess I have one memory. I was really young at the time, maybe 4. And it really snowed where I lived, back in East Texas in the 80s. And there was a lot of snow on the ground. And I remember running around enjoying the snow, because I guess it was the first time I ever actually saw snow. And I was all bundled up, running around my dad's yard, playing in the snow, building a snowman. And I guess anytime I see snow, it always brings a little smile to my face. So I guess snow? I don't know. I mean, I live in the South, okay? We rarely get snow here. So our views and opinions about snow is a lot different than everybody up north. People up north hate the snow. Let's see, Ferrari Taco. What's up, Ferrari? What kind of music are you into? I'm into all kinds of music. Predominantly I love rock music. Like some 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s rock. I was at one time a DJ, predominantly on a few rock stations, active rock as well as alternative rock stations back when I was in radio. So I do love rock, but I like other music too. I love classical music. I love jazz. I love older country western music like Johnny Cash, for example. I don't like the poppy stuff. Ugh, don't care for that. I love 80s, 90s hits, and that is a lot of different genres right there. So I'm a huge 80s, 90s music person. I love 80s and 90s music. Some 70s, late 70s. And I also love new wave. I love movie soundtracks. So yeah, I love many different types of music. I also love some old school hip hop. All right, thank you so much to everybody on Twitter as well as the YouTube community tab. We're on the third and final leg of the Q&A 10K video. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. Now we're over on Discord. By the way, we have an awesome Discord community. First question comes from Kane. Congrats on 10K, GB. Thank you, Kane. I think all 10,000 of us can agree. You've earned it for the hard work you've put into your channel and videos. My question is this. If you didn't start the channel, where do you think it would be now? Once again, congrats on 10K. Here's to the next milestone. Thank you so much, Kane, and everybody else. It really does mean a lot to me. And that is a hard question to answer because there was a time in my life when I really thought that I was meant to have a career in radio, and that didn't work out because of corporatization, because of downsizing, because of automation in the radio industry. And I guess I always wanted to kind of be an entertainer. And over a decade ago, I started my political channel. And I tried to be into politics, but eventually I got burnt out with politics. Even though I still have a political channel, I brought it back from the dead, kind of, sort of. I'm not as passionate about politics as I used to be. But I've always been a lifelong gamer. And I really don't know where I would be right now without the channel. I really don't. I mean, there have been, good days and bad days that I have endured. Like 3 years ago, my dad passed away from cancer. Those are some pretty rough times. And it was me focusing on making Mafia 2 content and then, of course, Mafia 3 content when Mafia 3 came out around that time. That kind of kept me going. But prior to that, over 5 years ago, if I would have not made the gaming channel, and I was still putting content on the political channel, but I was very burnt out with politics already by then in 2014. And I became even more burnt out, and I'm still burnt out, but I still feel the need occasionally to throw in my 2 cents regarding politics, which is why the political channel was once again resurrected for now. But I feel like the channel itself, the lessons I've learned, the friendships I've made, and meeting all of you, my awesome viewers, subscribers, fans, members, have had a very positive impact on me. And I hope that the feeling's mutual. And all I'm going to say is, without the channel, I think I would be worse off than I am now. I don't even know if I'd be here now if it wasn't for the channel. I mean, I never really say this, but you all do mean a lot to me. You really do. Archangel. Let's see. Congrats, GB. My opinion, you are the best. Definitely deserve every subscription. And I wish you the best for another 10,000 subscribers. Thank you, Archangel. My question is, what is your biggest fear? My biggest fear used to be, I guess, dying alone, Archangel. Used to be. But to be honest, I don't feel like I'm alone. I mean, do I keep to myself a lot? Kind of, sort of. Like, I'm a homebody. I do get out to do chores and run errands and go do adulting and occasionally have lunch or dinner with a friend or somebody in my family. I take trips every once in a while. But at the same time, I don't consider myself alone because I have all of you, So I don't feel so alone. And I'm not really afraid of death because I think death is something that just happens to us all. It's just a fact of life. Eventually we're going to die. But I have to remain hopeful that maybe, just maybe, it's not all for nothing and that there's more to life than this, and maybe there's something beyond this life, and hopefully that's the case. Riley, congrats on 10K. Here's to 11,000. Well, hopefully so. Her question is, if they don't add the Naval DLC or another luxurious DLC to Grand Theft Auto Online, what kind of DLC would you like to see in December? Honestly, Riley, I don't know. I really don't know, because I feel like, as I've mentioned this before, that the way I look at the ideas for Grand Theft Auto Online was like a barrel, right? At one time, that barrel was filled with ideas. But over the past 6 years, you know, of each DLC, that the level's been going down further and further. And I feel like we really are at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to DLC ideas for Grand Theft Auto Online. And the Naval DLC has been rumored for a while now, and that one makes sense because, like, a huge chunk of the map is ocean, so you might as well take advantage of it. But hypothetically, I mean, mansions is still an idea that a lot of people have wanted, or a cops DLC. An expansion is something I've mentioned a time or two, you know, like adding Liberty City as a map we could venture to and go back and forth, or North Yankton at the very least. But other than that, I mean, I just feel like we're reaching the very bottom of that barrel. Maybe Rockstar will surprise us in December. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out. At least I hope that we have a December update. That remains to be seen. See, Brian, congratulations, GB, for 10K. My question is, what big actor, actress voice in a video game, in my opinion, is sometimes a good game. Other times the games are bad. Like, for example, Beyond Two Souls, COD, Advanced Warfare. They're bad, but in Vice City, Until Dawn, they have big actors, actresses. They're good. Sometimes these actors, actresses hardly promote the game, and they only care about the paycheck. I asked the question because I have an idea for a video game concept, a love story set in 2009 and 2010, a mix of Red Dead Redemption, God of War. You face Christianity mythology like a Nephilim, demons. It sounds like Diablo 3. Anyways, of course, Diablo 3 is not set in 2009, but I continue. See, your idea for a video game star would be Leonardo DiCaprio, Scarlett Johansson. Part of me is scared because they don't care about only a paycheck. I don't know if that's really a question. I mean, I guess what it comes down to is I like what Rockstar does. Now, sometimes it's cool to have a named actor or actress voice or be portrayed in a video game. But there's so many talented voice actors and actresses out there that deserve a paycheck too. And they do a fantastic job of voice work, whether it's cartoons or radio ads or TV ads or voice work in video games, that I think they deserve the opportunity for those roles. Because, I mean, look at the prime examples that I'll cite are both Red Dead Redemption 2 voice actors and actresses. They all did great. And once again, with Grand Theft Auto 5 voice actors and actresses, once again, they all did great. And the majority of them are no names, but they did fantastic work, and they all deserved a paycheck for their hard work. So that's the way I look at it. I mean, I think that it gives more opportunities for more people in the acting industry. And I say, if I was to make a video game, I would just concern myself with casting the best voice actors and actresses. I wouldn't really worry about getting a big name star or actress. That's just how I feel about it. But we're all different. Let's see, Sedan. So glad you finally managed 10K. Thank you, Sedan. My question is this: are SUVs trucks? It's a very short and sweet answer, Sedan. Well, I've had both SUVs and trucks. So my answer is no. It's the same thing as asking, is a car a truck? Once again, the answer is no. A car is a car and a truck is a truck. An SUV is an SUV. I don't know if an SUV is basically a van car hybrid, but SUVs are their own vehicles. Doesn't make them any better or worse than trucks, because I like SUVs, I like trucks, I like cars. I don't like trikes. Trikes suck. But anyways, most vehicles I like. Let's see. Space Monkey. I'm happy for you, but my question is, what's your favorite TV show? Whoa, that's a big, broad question. I wish you would have been more specific. Like, what's your favorite sitcom, or what's your favorite... You get the idea. I'll list a few. All right, for sitcoms, Seinfeld, My Neighbor's Making Noises, inconsiderate. Let's see, Seinfeld, Frasier, South Park, I guess. South Park's a long-running sitcom. Let's see, what else do I like? There's been a few TV shows over the years. I loved Game of Thrones till the final season. I love Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, two really awesome TV shows. Looking forward to the next season of Better Call Saul, though I think it may end up being the final season. It's quite the possibility. Some other shows, like back in the day when I was a kid, I loved me some Transformers, Gen 1, G1, as well as the real Ghostbusters from back in the day. He-Man, liked He-Man. And I'm trying to think of some other, like, first few seasons of My Name is Earl was good. It's just a long list of TV shows out there that I've enjoyed over the years. So there's a few examples of TV shows that I have enjoyed. I also was a fan of Doctor Who. This past season of Doctor Who wasn't that good, but maybe it'll get better. We'll see. Apollyon. Hello, Apollyon. How you been? Let's see. Well done, GB. You deserve it. My question is, what drove you to keep going in the early days of YouTube? Well, I'm assuming you're talking about the gaming channel. Politics was the motivating factor for the political channel, so forget that channel. And everybody subscribe to the political channel, thank you. But we're focusing on this channel. My motivating factor was I had ideas. Ideas I just got tired of simply emailing Rockstar about. I saw other people making content for Grand Theft Auto Online. I thought I could do it also. And I just kept doing it. And I didn't stop doing it for my, my ideas from like what Bolingbroke Penitentiary ideas to my Racing Badly series to Misadventure Mondays to playing some Watch Dogs to eventually covering Mafia 3 all the way to the launch of Mafia 3 and of course playing various games in between like some Skyrim, as I mentioned a few others, Mafia 2. It just early days of the channel, I enjoyed doing it, and I still enjoy doing it. It's a lot different now than it was, and I have better equipment now, and I feel like I've come a long way in my delivery and my production quality overall. I feel like I'm better than I was 5 years ago at the beginning. At least I hope that's the case. But the other factor was my radio background, my passion to make content, whether it was in radio or previous YouTube channel like the political channel. I enjoyed making content, so that was obviously another motivating factor because I enjoyed doing it. Sparing Donkey. Hey, Sparing Donkey. Congratulations on the milestone, GB. May I ask, what are your top 3 favorite vehicles in Grand Theft Auto Online or Grand Theft Auto 5? A top 3 list. Ooh, that's a toughie. My top 3. For practicality's sake, the Buzzard. I put the Buzzard there because the Buzzard has more than earned itself as a vehicle that I've had since once I was able to rank up high enough to get the Buzzard. I definitely think it's paid for itself over and over again. So the Buzzard's always been a go-to helicopter, not just for missions, but also a great way to get across the map conveniently before the broomstick was introduced. And now the broomstick was not on this list. In the early days, I loved the Massacro and the Zentorno. I loved both those vehicles. I think I still have those over on the Xbox with Janine in Grand Theft Auto Online. So I loved Massey, which is what I named the Massacro. I know that's a real original name. And then, of course, the Beast was the Zentorno. I've had a lot of vehicles that have come and gone. I love the Deluxo because I'm a huge Back to the Future fan. I love that thing. It's a great car. Even without the missiles and machine guns, I still would have a Deluxo. And even if it didn't fly, I'd still have it because I just like I would never have an actual DeLorean, but I like it in the video game. Let's see. So those are a few. I don't know. I think we'll just move on. Wardrust. What's up, War? Let's see. What got you into YouTube? Do you have inspiration or a role model from whom you want to become like? Not really, War. Like I mentioned, my beginnings were because of my radio career, and I enjoyed making content while I was in radio, not just being on the air. Whether it was like, spots or commercials or other production. My original motivating factor, originally had a shitpost, kind of a small machinima channel back in the day, 2007-ish, I think. And then my political channel nearly 10 years ago that started. So I've had a lot of reasons for being in YouTube, but I'm still here because I think it's an addiction. And maybe I need help, right? Maybe I need to like go to like a YouTube anonymous group. I don't know, but I enjoy it. And I'll stick around until the ship finally sinks. Cool guy. Congrats, GB, by the way. What's your favorite plane in Grand Theft Auto Online? I'm going to count the laser as a plane. I know it's technically a jet, but in the interest of time, I love the OG laser. I still love that plane, jet. I know it's technically a jet, but the way Rockstar classifies things, from Rockstar's point of view, it's a plane. So ours is in the military category. I think it's in the plane category, but obviously it's not actually a plane. It's a jet. But this is Rockstar we're talking about. All right, Tankage Jr., congrats, GB, on 10K. My question is, what is your dream car? My dream car, I don't really dream of a dream car anymore. When I was younger, you know, I was excited to get my Mustang GT back in 2005. I loved that car. I've always wanted a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or a McLaren. But these days, I'm happy with my trucks. I mean, I loved my Frontier when I had it for 6 years. I'm happy with my Honda Ridgeline. I'm quite content with it. It's a good truck. So, I mean, I love having supercars and sports cars in Grand Theft Auto Online. They're considerably way cheaper than a real-life version. Plus, the insurance can be a little costly. But at the moment, I don't really have a dream car anymore. Milton, what's up, Milton? Congrats, GB, on reaching 10K. What's your hobbies? I kind of answered that question, Milton. I used to bowl. I don't bowl anymore. Red, hey Red, how's it going? Again, congrats GB on getting to 10K. Thank you, Red. Question is, how do you see yourself in 10 years? Sounds like a job interview, but I didn't have anything in mind. Well, thanks for the question, Red. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm not one to try to plan too far ahead, because who really can plan too far ahead? I do try to plan ahead to some degree, like a weekly schedule, which I try to keep to for the most part, not always. 10 years from now, I don't know. I hope I'm still around in 10 years. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If not, hopefully it was a good run and you all enjoyed having me around while I was around. But that's one of the reasons why I try to eat healthier and work out 3 days a week and do cardio so I can be around. 10 years from now, if I could say, I would like to, by then, be moved to Central Texas, even though I'm planning on trying to get moved there sooner, hopefully sometime 2020, maybe spring 2020 if I'm lucky. Live in the hill country, outside of Austin, near my sisters, and that would be my first thing. 10 years from now, hopefully I'm in really good shape and healthy, and maybe I'll find somebody special within the next 10 years if I'm still meant to be around. Now, if you're talking about where do I see the channel in 10 years from now, if YouTube's even a thing in 10 years from now, or if there's a new social platform, maybe I'll be on that. Well, once again, I try not to plan too far ahead when it comes to these sorts of things. Now, hypothetically, would I like to still be doing this in 10 years from now when I'm approaching when I'm older? I don't know. I guess. I mean, if I still have viewers and subscribers in 10 years from now, then I guess I'll be content with doing it. I don't know what the future holds for me. I don't know what the future holds for any of us, but I'm grateful for the time that I do have. Amy, final question. She got it in just in time. Couldn't think of what to ask, but finally came up with this. Is there anything you wish you could do, be really good at, that you currently aren't? If that makes sense. Plus, congratulations on 10K. Thank you, Amy. Is there something I wish I was good at that I'm currently not? There's probably a list of things. I mean, I always wanted to be better when it came to like playing a musical instrument, like a guitar or the trumpet. I was terrible at both. So it'd be cool if I was actually decent at that. I'm not. So I kind of gave up on both of those hobbies from back in the day. I wish I was good at making better decisions. I wish I was good at predicting the future so that I could predict me some winning Powerball tickets. I wish I was good at reading women. I think most guys feel that way. It's easy to tell when a guy is interested in you, right? But like it's almost impossible when it comes to the other side, unless she's just one of these types of women that's like, you know what, I'm taking charge. It's 2019. You know, I've yet to have one of those come my way, but I've also had a few exes, and that makes me happy to be single. So it's kind of a conundrum. Why are we going this route? Well, she did ask what I wish I was good at. My dad was better at some of these things than I am. My dad was really good at carpentry and all that basic jack of all trades stuff, and even some mechanical skills. I wish I was better at all that kind of stuff in hindsight. But, you know, we all have different skills. We all have a different skill tree we choose to go down. And I think the lesson here is if there's something you really want to do, like a skill-wise, then you got to get out there and you got to learn it. Just like in an RPG, right? In a standard video game. You start off at the bottom and then you have to eventually work your way up. So you got to get better at either content creating, or being a mechanic, or being a plumber, an engineer, being a nurse, being a doctor. You know, you could go all sorts of directions with that one. So it's just about getting better with them skill trees, which works both in video games and in real life, I suppose. Oh, by the way, Amy, thanks for following me on Twitter. Twitter's dying. But anyways, thank you so much to all of you, my awesome viewers, subscribers, fans, for sitting down, watching the past hour. I guess it's been about an hour of me answering your questions for Q&A 10,000. I did the best I could. There's a variety of questions. Some of them I have answered before in previous Q&As, but that's fine. I know that a lot of you aren't going to go back and watch those. That's cool. I get it. And in case you're wondering, we'll probably do the next Q&A maybe when I reach 11,000 or 13,000 or 15,000. It just depends on how slow or fast that goes, right? If we get to 11,000 in no time, I'll probably hold off and wait till 13,000 or 15,000. That's assuming if I ever make it to 15,000. But like I mentioned, the best thing to do is to always be humble, be grateful how far you've come, and that's the way I always choose to be. You know, I'm grateful for all of you, my viewers, subscribers, and fans. Whatever brought you to the channel, I'm grateful to have you part of the GeauxBurns Nation, and you all are part of the GeauxBurns Nation. Doesn't matter where you are, from what part of the world you come from, or what you happen to believe, or what your pigment is, or your gender, or your philosophy on life, politically, what your orientation happens to be. I always want you all to feel welcome and proud to be part of the ever-growing GeauxBurns Nation.